Alright, okay, what I'm going to do is show you how the desktop control panel works along with the ad server itself. I'm going to try to use a couple screen switches so you can see everything in real time, and if there's any external noise, just try to ignore that, and we'll try to get through this. I am working from in the house. Alright, so what you're looking at on the screen right now is the desktop control panel. It's the current version of the desktop control panel. This is the software that you install on your local computer that you keep at your home. Now remember that the software that's installed out on the ad servers or the small PCs, that's called the ad server basically, and that would be the damn live software. And those names don't mean much unless you're actually in the system, but remember there's two. There's a software that runs remotely out in the real world, like into your locations where you have your digital billboard systems, and then there's software that runs locally with you that controls the setup of the systems, and then there's the website that you use that's common to all systems that you upload your ads on, and then which your ad servers out in the real world mimic. Okay, so what I have on the screen right now is the desktop control panel. We're going to go through some stuff. I'm going to try to switch between things as I go. So let me flip this down and let me go and look at the software itself. So, alright, so starting from left to right, there's a few things you have to do. First off, when you have one of these systems and you want to interact with it, this desktop control panel software is what connects to the system out in the real world, but not in a direct link. It's more of a it hands off the commands, and then the system takes those commands. That way there's no hacking capability to take over a machine live. The systems run autonomously at that point. So the first thing you have to do is go to File and log into your server. Now what I'm going to use is Master, which is the one I'm on. Once you set that, you'll see it right here. It says folder set. Then you have to select the ad server that you're going to look at. I have about 5 of these out, so I'm going to look at number 4, which is the one I have in the room running on the main TV here, like a living room TV. So I think that's number 4. And then there's 2 ways to sync to it. The yellow sync is to sync to it in a non-real way, just enough to modify some settings. It doesn't bring in any ads. It brings in the list of what the ads are, just to show you what's there. And then the sync ads in the blue will actually pull the ads down locally so that you can play around with them in here to see if they show up. So let me go ahead and sync to the list. And then you wait a few seconds here as it's negotiating the file structure over there. Now we got the list over here. The sync is complete. It brings the software version, the last time it updated, how many ads are in the system that don't have these prefixes. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Excuse me. And it also brings in if it's doing hourly news or hourly weather and things like that. Those are different options. It also shows if it's a split screen or full screen. This happens to be split screen. It's saying that it's checking for new ads every 10 hours. And I'll just set that back to like 1. And the ad intervals are at 10 seconds, and I'm going to move that back to about 6. And when I make these changes like this, I just have to hit this update settings, and then the next time it connects for that hour, it's going to update that. Or I can hit reset ad server, and it will do it in real time, like, you know, within the 30 seconds or so. So notice in this mode I can change these things like the radio and different things like that, but I can't really look at the actual files. So if I try to click one of those, it says list only. Okay, no real files downloaded. Please click on sync ads first to be able to display real ads. So let me click on now sync ads and see what the difference is. Wait a few seconds, more like many few seconds. Alright, let's see what we got. And notice it's a little slower, and it's going to be slower here on my machine because I'm actually streaming video too at the same time I'm connecting and downloading stuff. So sync is complete. Notice it all looks the same, except this time I can click on the ads and it tries to show them in the little window as if it would be out in the real world. If those ads work here in this area, then it will work in the real world. There's even a video ad here. If I click that, you'll see it tries to run a I think it's a food menu type screen, and what that is actually a video being streamed over from YouTube. If you look at that file, it says V underscored and some like 11 letters or 11 characters and then the time. It's saying it's a video randomly from YouTube ID there, and it's running for 46 seconds. So that's what that's actually doing. I can also look at GIF files, which are the ones that are on the right. We call them sponsor ads. Notice that these ads in the middle, the larger ads, which we call display, are JPEGs, and they're lowercase JPEGs. I did that on purpose because lowercase JPEGs don't have the ability to hold executable code in the image file, whereas some of the other versions of JPEG do, and you can have somebody take over a machine, or it's hackable basically. And I used the old GIF files. Let me rerun this. Let me see if I can rerun that. Alright, let me reconnect it. It didn't like what I was doing here. And let me reconnect to number 4 again. And let me make sure that the system is actually looking, and it might be. Let's see. Might not be either. So let me switch over to let you see what's actually on the screen while I get the other one set up. So let me close this and add it again. And we will add, I'm using vMix right here to have different displays. And let me do this. Put that back into play. So you can see what's actually on the screen right now. Let me position, put that in the middle, zoom a little bit more. I'll get it back up and running in a second here. I always wonder about things that crash while you're doing a live thing. Okay, so I have that done. And let me put it back. So now we're back to looking at it again. Okay. And like I said, you can click on things. And I did sync the actual list again. So what we can see here is that we have a few regular ads in here, a few sponsor ads, and then one random video ad. Now there's things we can do other than this, like see the words that are right here where it says businessintheblack.com. That's my web development company, by the way. I'll show you what it looks like on the screen. So let's flip that over to the screen. So that's what it looks like on the screen. So you see that it's the static line below the large ad, and then you'll see some scrolling words that are underneath it as it comes back around. And there it starts to come back around. And let me show you how those are changed. So in this software, which is the desktop control panel software, if you want to change the static and the scrolling words, you just basically click on it, type in something, whatever you want to type in, OK that, click on the next one, type in something here, whatever you want to type, and then OK that, and then go over to hit update settings. I didn't change anything, so I'm not going to do anything. That's how you control it. You can also control the color of the text in the background by hitting this little C right here. If I hit this little C, a window comes up, and you can click, and that's going to work on this on the line that you hit the C with. You can control the background and the foreground color. So if you click something, you click in there, you can control the foreground color. Notice you can see it in the background changing there. See that? You can click on background, and let me see if I can change that. Somehow I could change that, but I don't know how to do it right now. Oh, you know what? I might have gotten rid of that because it really made it look really wacky when you do it. Let me see. But if you hit the right mouse button, that will override it, what I did. And now, if you hold the right mouse button and scroll around, so you can see the background color change. Now, depending on what you do here, it can really look pretty horrible. So I prefer to leave it black and then just mess with the foreground color, which is the left mouse button moving around. Okay, and I'll put it like I'll put it to white. How's that? Okay, that you can do the same thing on the second one. Make sure you hit update settings when you do it, and notice it says login success, add server updated. So that's how you know it happened. The other thing you can do here is to send a direct video to one of your boards or all of your boards. Notice in this area where it says video URL, you can test YouTube videos, Vimeo video, all kind of different things, anything that can stream, or even if it's a regular file, it'll stream it on its own. You can play it here by testing it. Let me go get something to play it with. Let me go to YouTube, and I can let me show you. I can show you that screen while I'm doing it. Let's put it over here so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm going to go to YouTube here. Let me find something like 3 fights I've never forgotten. Let's see if these will work. Now remember that all YouTube videos will not work because some are set to only play within its URL and some are set to be public. Okay, so let me try this. We'll go back to this software, and we take that URL that we just pasted, and then we just do play. If it works here, and there it is. Okay, and notice I rip out the commercials. Okay, so now that I'm playing it here, I can stop or whatever. As long as this URL is in here, I can say go live. Okay, now it's sent it out to this board number 4, and let me go back and show you what's happening over there. Alright, so that's the system running in the living room right now. And what we're waiting for is there's a little asterisk that happens in the left bottom corner of the big display. Oh, it already caught it. Okay, and you probably hear it playing over there. Let me turn that down. Okay, so that's the billboard actually playing it in real time. Now remember, we just sent that over from the desktop control panel. Notice on the right hand side the sponsor ads are still running. Your scrolling name and all that kind of stuff is running. Now it will take off the static for an instant because that's an area letting me test for some other things. In future software I might just leave that there while I'm testing for stuff, but right now that's going to go out until static ads come back. Okay, now let's say we wanted to stop this. Let's say this was a live video feed that you were doing from even YouTube Live or from your phone. You can stop it by either stopping the stream, it'll sense it most of the time and kill it, or you can actually tell the system to stop streaming. So let's go over to the desktop now. Let me see if I can take you back there. And see if I can get to that. There we go. Alright, there's the desktop. Let me go back. So what I can do now, even though it's not running here or anything, it's actually streamed, I can tell the system to stop. There's a way I can stop is go over here and say reset ad server. So I'm going to hit that, and I'm going to show you what's happening over there. Oh, it's the wrong one. Let me quick play that one. There we go. Alright, so that's what you're looking live. Now what's going to happen is there's a little asterisk that shows up every 30 seconds or so underneath the large ad on the left side. You might not be able to see it on the screen, but that's its heartbeat. It comes up every 30 seconds to see if there's some live command that's happening. So we're going to wait for that for a minute and see if it resets itself. There it is. I see it. And boom, reset itself. Notice it's now a exclamation point. So it goes back to being a regular billboard system, just showing the ads that it has locally, or what's in the database itself that's online. Let's see what else we can do here. Let's go and show you this again. Now that's how we can go live to one machine. Now if I were to put that in there and say go live to all right here, that will send that live video, or even if it's a static video, to every machine in your network. Not every machine in the entire network, because there'd be thousands of machines. But let's say if you had a couple hundred machines or 100 machines, it would go to all of them instantly. Then you can have them all over the place. So what it does, it makes your system almost like a closed circuit television system, like a ABC, CBS type of thing. Okay, at a point that you control. Now the other thing we can do is change the screen from split screen to full screen. So right now you notice it's set to the split screen, and I only have two setups. I made this very simple. There's not multiple screens, all kind of stuff. That takes too long to learn. There's only two types. One with a banner ad or a sponsor area, and one without. So let's go ahead and try it with the full. If I hit that full and say update, okay, and then if I say reset now, it'll take it immediately. If not, it's going to wait a whole hour. So I'm going to say reset it now, and let me go back and show you the real deal. Alright, this is what's happening, and we'll wait for the 30 seconds. So depending on where that 30 seconds is, I mean, it could be instantly, but you know, our luck is going to not be. Oh, I see it. It took it right there. Yep. So it already took it. Now it's going to reset in a minute. That little G means that it has good internet, basically. I had a little character so that when it's out in the real world, people won't question what's going on because they don't know what those little things mean. Like if it crashes or there's no internet or things like that. I have like little characters that the people who own them know what they mean. See, now it went to full screen. So notice that the sponsor area is not there anymore. So this would be the way that some people like it. Okay, and you can literally notice that one ad had its own little banner inside a full screen. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Let's go back to this, and I will go back and reset that, but I won't send it right now. Notice also that I have it set right here. Well, we already talked about this right here. This is the how often it goes to check for updates for new ads to be removed or deleted, and the intervals in between the ad cycle, the static ad cycle. The other thing you'll see right here underneath these displays for the split screen and full screen is it shows you exactly what the actual digital size in pixels of your ads that you need to use. So this display area is 1256 by 673 in pixels. That's just happened to be on this machine. And then the sponsor area, which is this little area, is 424 by 673. Now the reason why we do this is because the system can be adjusted to any screen size. So to get the best resolution for the screen you've selected or set, I'm giving you the exact pixel size so you can create your ads that way. Okay, and notice we're hit the hour on the hour. Let's just go see what just happened. Look at that, the news came on. Okay, notice I haven't reset it for a split screen, so the news came on. Let me go back and like reset it while it happens. So I'm resetting it, and we're going to watch it live. And let me turn down the news itself. Okay, and let's watch it change. Alright, so it's resetting, but still we're still within the hour of a top of an hour, and within that I guess it's 10-minute window. So the news should come right back. And it's going to go to split screen here in a minute, as it's still resetting. That's why you see the G. And there it went split screen. But remember, it's still within the top of the hour, which we had set. But you can turn that on or off. You can use anything you want. It doesn't have to be news. It can be anything you want, really. And let's just wait and see if it picks it up. This is actually new. I never tested it, resetting it right in the middle of it. We'll see if it happens. And if it's not, hey, we learned something. While we're waiting for that, let's look at something else. I'll know in a minute if it's going to pick it up. Let me take it back over to... Oh, it did it anyway. There it goes. See, look. So I had to wait for that so many seconds or so. So there's the news. So it picked it up still because it's within the hour, top of the hour. That's basically from within the top of the hour in 5 minutes. I let it go run for 5 minutes. So it's still within that 5 minutes. Notice that the news is running and the ads on the right hand side are actually still rotating for whatever the timing cycle is. Okay? Because it takes over the left side. Now let's show you how that's controlled. Okay? Like I said right here, you'll see it says hourly news. I have that checked, and I have a URL for, I think that's Cheddar News maybe, or no, it's CBS News. So it's, you got to find these streams for like live stuff. I have a link on the website for that. And then you can also have the weather, which happens after the news on the second excuse me, on the second half of the 10 minutes. Allergies kicking up. I'm outside working on the roof, cleaning out gutters. Anyway, if you don't want this to happen, then you just turn these off. Or you can make it not news or weather. It could be something else. It could be the link to your webcam in your backyard. That happens every hour and hour. Who knows? Whatever that stream is, that's what will go out there. Alright. The next thing, I'm going to go ahead and turn these off for now. Okay. Now once I do that, it's going to wipe out these once I save it. And let me go ahead and I'm not going to update it yet, but you'll know that I'm going to wipe these out. The other thing you can do is you can stream music. The music will work in between static ads that have no video or anything. So when the video would show up, the music would go off, and then when the video is off, then it would come back. Okay, so let's go ahead and test something. I have a URL here, so let me just test, see if that's working. These URLs change. I use Shoutcast for the links, and it looks like that one is not a good number, so I can't test that right now. So let me show you where I get those. So I'm going to minimize this and go to the screen. Okay, and we're going to go to Shoutcast. Shoutcast, and we'll go to search. There we go. Now you notice all these genre of radio stations. I'm going to pick some. Let's pick something classical and modern classical or something. Let's see how they show these. Now if you were to change these to, let's see, Winamp, I think I can right mouse click. Let me see if I can copy the address. Let me see what happens here. Let me see if I can paste that. There we go. Yeah, just right mouse click, copy the address, even though you didn't download anything. There is that address. So let me highlight that. As a matter of fact, I've already copied it. I just want to let you see it. I'm going to go back to this, go over to here, take this one out of here, paste that, test it, and see if it shows up. And it crashed my system. So let me try that again. I've noticed some of these will crash, so that's why you need to test them ahead of time. Alright, let me see. Let me see if you're seeing what I see right now. and you do. Okay. Alright, so let me go back here. Let's try something else. Let's see, this one. Let me copy it. Copy the address. Let's put it in here. Erase this out. Paste it. Let's see if this works. Oh, see, it crashed it. Well, maybe I don't want to do that. It might not be working too well. So let me put that back. But the general idea is that URL that you put there, it will allow it to stream in between static stuff, and if there's a video, it turn it off. If video goes off, then it comes back. But to have that running, even after you test it, you have to turn it on, okay? And then save it and update the settings. Let me go ahead and sync back to this number 4, because I'm not connected to nothing. Alright, let's let it set. The next thing is let's restart, set restart time. Now, it's a good thing in Windows to have the system reset itself every so often. That clears up trash and garbage collection of the operating system, like loose or leaky memory. So I have mine set at midnight right here. This is in 24-hour format, so it's just a minute before midnight. So every midnight it's going to reset if the system's left on. If not, then it might not ever reach this time. Okay. Let me see what else we got here. That's my dad. Let's see here. You can get settings, or it does that automatically when you sync. So let's see what else we got. So if we go up here to the top, I missed this here. If you click on some of these, I forgot, this is not hard sunk, but if you were to click on some of these, it will show you, or try to show you, how long they've been viewed. But I've reset the system here a couple times, so it's not going to be anything. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll sync it directly again. While that's happening, let's make sure that you're seeing what I'm seeing, and you are. Okay. Alright, so they're downloading. Alright, sync complete. So if I were to touch some of these, like this, notice it says 10 views. Click another one, same, another one, 11 views. The algorithm inside tries to let everything be seen roughly around the same time within a 30-day period. So it sees if some are showing too much, it'll throttle them back, and then some is not enough, it'll throttle them forward. Now, I don't have it looking at the GIF files right now. I might go back and change that, because this is software that's progressed over time. I only had it for the main area, because I didn't even have a second window when I first wrote software. I might just go back and adjust that so that it also will read the GIF files too. It's a matter of changing code a little bit. What else we got going on here? Like I said, with these lists, these types of ads, this is also left over from legacy systems. These prefixes are something you can put in your ad names to do certain things. You can see that on the internet. All kind of different things. One of those things is the V underscore. Notice it says there's one V, meaning one random video here. That also could be a video that is timed in a certain way. Let me show you how that works. If you go up here to File, under YouTube Video Ads, window pops up. Okay. This will allow you to I'm trying to help you create a file name that uses the internal programming for your static ad that actually pulls a video. So let's first go get a YouTube video again. I have one over here somewhere. We go to YouTube again, and let me find something. Always some raunchy stuff on here. I always have to like zoom past it. Okay, here's something good. It's a trailer. What the heck is this? Let's skip that. Okay, there's a trailer. So we'll take that link. Remember, I'm copying just the full link, the full URL. Going back here, and I put that URL in here. Now I can test it here, see if it works. You want it to work first, and it does. Okay. Now, I just noticed something. Let me kill it. I just noticed I didn't put a pause in here, so I'm not going to do that anymore. So there's the URL. Oh, there it is. It came up. With that video in place, if we go back and look at that video on YouTube, it says it's 1 minute and 37 seconds, right? We need to remember that because we're going to do something with this. These are the little settings we can put in this video. For instance, we don't want it for the start time. This top part is for programs or videos that are programmed for it to happen a certain time of day and certain day of the week, and even certain year. So if we don't want to do that, we can just modify this bottom half, which is the time for the video to run. Okay, so we'll say it was what was it, 1 minute 37 seconds. It changes to 37. So then we got no hours, 1 minute 37 seconds. If we hit V, that's what that video should look like, or that picture, that static ad should look like. That's really going to go call a YouTube video. So it's V underscore, and that's that 11-digit code and how many minutes and how many seconds it's going to run. But now if we want this to be a programmed video that runs at a certain day and time, we need this other stuff. Let's say that we want it to run at 5 o'clock, no minutes, 5 o'clock even. So it's 5 o'clock, no minutes, no seconds in the evening. And we want it to run on the 22nd, year 22. And we want to do it in August on the 3rd. Okay? Now, and we still have the time it's supposed to run for. So it's going to, on that day, that hour, it's going to run. But we need to use the H deals. Notice, if we program for a day and time, when we hit this one, it's supposed to look like this. It holds in the full date, time, and the URL or the codes for YouTube, and for how long it needs to run for. I added this because some people wanted to run stuff like, like their own little TV shows, like 15-minute spot or whatever. Okay. Now, if you wanted to run every day, we hit this one, and all it does is blanks out the date. So now every day at 5 o'clock, it's going to run this for 1 minute and 37 seconds. Okay? And it's every day at 5 o'clock. No matter what's happening, it's going to take that over at 5 o'clock. The V underscore ones are randomized, so they don't care about the day and time, and they just randomly come up in the system between the static ads and run that same video for 1 minute and 37 seconds. Okay? So I just try to help you out here. There's a lot of little things like that on the site. The other things you can do here are under File, you can do a trigger test. Trigger test is how to test the image you created to see if it will work. And let me go to some videos that I have, or no, it's just ads or whatever. Sample ads, and let me load one. Alright, here's a sample ad, and boom, see, notice it loaded it. You can also test these ads that are actually triggered to run videos. So if we do trigger test and pick one that's video, like some of these attention getters, let's try this one here. I don't know if it's even any good. Yep, there it is. So now, oh, it's loud in my ear. So notice, it's going to run that image that represents a video on YouTube and test it for you. And we can stop it here. Okay, so that's what that's for. If it works here, it'll work in the system, out in the real world. These other things are reports, so you can test to see if your systems are connected or not connecting. You test down here, if the systems have checked in or not. And then they're linked to help, and then you can quit. Alright, that's about it. That's not much else to the system except for what we just showed you. So if you have any questions or anything like that, my information's in the video. It's actually scrolling across the screen too, but I have it wrote down in the description. call me anytime. That's my cell, so you can text me also. Remember that I'm a teacher. I work at the college in the mornings, so I have to be in the afternoon or in the evening. Alright, I think that's about it. And until next time, I will see you later.